Ferrari remains focused on fixing its urgent brakes issue ahead of the next race in Austin, Texas, with team boss Frederic Vasseur stating there is no way to fight with its rivals if it can't. The Scuderia left Singapore disappointed after both cars struggled with their brakes, with Charles Leclerc 6th and Lewis Hamilton 8th after a 5-second time penalty for multiple off-track excursions. Vasseur said the Red Squad asked Leclerc to lift and coast very early in the race, as they played with brake balance to find a sweet spot. Ferrari is third in the constructors' standings, 27 points behind Mercedes. South Korean capital Seoul was a pre-US Grand Prix detour for Mercedes, with the Silver Arrows flying in for a special F1 demonstration run held at AMG Speedway as part of an event for lifestyle brand Peaches. Valtteri Bottas, who raced in the last Korean Grand Prix during his rookie season in 2013, was behind the wheel of a new era spec W13 Mercedes from 2022, which he opened up along the 4.3-kilometer lap. The Flying Finn, who joins startup Cadillac next year, was left impressed by the sold-out event, with renewed calls for the sport to return to Korea, following its last stint from 2010 to 2013.
It's been amazing to be back in South Korea and to have F1 back here, in this event. And for me, it's a long time ago that I was last time here, so it's been nice to explore a bit more. And I feel so supported here, which is beautiful to see.
F1 correspondent Lawrence Barretto says Mercedes pilot George Russell is in a similar position to what Carlos Sainz was at Ferrari last year, in that his seat is vulnerable, with a Top Gun potentially on the market. Russell has been outstanding in 2025, with 2 wins in Canada and at the last race in Singapore. But he's yet to be re-signed beyond the end of the season, with 2027 allegedly the sticking point. And Barretto told official podcast F1 Nation that it's all very familiar, with Verstappen only confirmed until the end of 2026.
When Lewis Hamilton, a 7-time world champion, is up for grabs, Ferrari went and took him, and that is probably the only person that could have taken Carlos' seat. George is in the same spot. Max Verstappen is potentially available. And I guess when Toto, he's the guy in charge, right? The buck stops with him, and he has to look at what is the best thing for Mercedes. Now, it's just unfortunate.
Williams team boss James Vowles says the grid will be shaken up by the coming seismic regulation change for 2026, with expectations that it won't be carrying through the order of today. Williams has focused its workforce on the future and expects it will take a step forward in 2026, with not even a single bolt carried over from the 2025 car, and a likely benchmark Mercedes power unit in the back. But Vowles told F1's official podcast Beyond the Grid that it is all a guess until round 1 at Melbourne's Albert Park.
Mercedes have always done well on regulation changes because they get ahead of the curve, they forward invest ahead of the curve. There's no doubt about that. But the reality behind it is we don't know what Ferrari have got, what Honda have got. It's just a complete unknown at this point in time. So I'm really pleased with the work that Mercedes have done with their preparation and their development. But until the lights go out in Australia, no one knows.
Mohammed bin Sulayem could run for a second term as FIA president unopposed, based on a rule for vice president selection that could preclude his opponents from completing the application process. The FIA's rules state candidates must nominate a 10-person team as part of their application, including 7 vice presidents from an approved list and representation required from 6 regions. But the current approved 29-person list has just 1 representative from South America, Fabiana Eccleston, wife of former Supremo Bernie, who serves as a vice president to Ben Sulayem. The rule could rule out rivals like Virginie Philippot and former steward Tim Mayer, who was sacked by the UAE native.
I know what it takes to lead a global organization, one that partners with teams, partners with the stars, our drivers, nurtures professional officiating, and treats stakeholders with respect.
Williams' Carlos Sainz has criticized F1's recent television coverage, with the Spaniard stating it goes a little overboard in showing celebrities and drivers' girlfriends during the race. Sainz was on a fight-back drive in Singapore, where he went from 18th to 10th, and said the director missed his passes, along with his countryman Fernando Alonso's pursuit of Lewis Hamilton. The Spaniard said it was important that the competition is respected and to always show the crucial moments of the race. I understand that if there is an overtake, a very tense moment in the race, it is understandable that the production team might want to show a reaction shot, he said. Formula One refuted Sainz's comments, however, stating its team does a great job of covering a highly complex situation. Australian Grand Prix host city Melbourne was abuzz last week with tickets for the official F1 exhibition finally going on sale. The show, which will be held at the Melbourne Convention and Exhibition Centre from November 29 to April 19, will pay homage to Australia's rich motorsport heritage, including drivers such as world champions Sir Jack Brabham and Alan Jones, and its race winners like Mark Webber, Daniel Ricciardo, and Oscar Piastri. The exhibition will also feature extensive memorabilia, including Romain Grosjean's burnt-out Haas from the 2020 Bahrain Grand Prix. Melbourne's run will follow the show's previous residencies in Madrid, Vienna, Toronto, London, Buenos Aires, and Amsterdam. Double World Rally champion Kalle Rovanperä is set for a shock switch to single-seaters, with the Flying Finn announcing last week he is quitting off-road for a shot at Japanese Super Formula. Rovanperä, who is fighting for a third WRC title, said he'd been thinking about a new challenge for a while with his Super Formula shift, one that is backed by Toyota, a transition the likes of which has never been seen before in motorsport. The 25-year-old got a taste of F1 last year when he joined Red Bull for a chance to pilot the brand's 2012 title-winning RB8 in Austria. Rovanperä's day was done right, with a seat fitting, time in the simulator, and prior laps in a junior Formula car. He already knew the Red Bull ring well, given his races in the Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux series. But Rovanperä took it all in his stride.
Definitely on an F1 car you have so much downforce that physically it's very different than in Rally 1 car. You have a lot more G-forces and stuff, but it was pretty much how I expected it. Not too bad, to be honest, but of course, if you do a long race, you definitely feel the G-forces.
Thanks for watching. To stay up to speed on all things Formula One, make sure you hit the subscribe button.